Hello and welcome into my first ever power rankings for ALGS. I am looking forward to making these weekly moving forward. Um, if I happen to put your favorite team near the bottom, that does not mean I hate them or that I think they can't succeed. I just think they have lower odds than some of the other teams to finish high. Let me know what thoughts and opinions you have, if you agree or disagree with any of my rankings, and why. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting at the number 30 spot is GKS. This roster consists of Chaotic Much, Stay Naughty, and Sorcerer. This roster placement does not mean they will not do anything in Pro League or that they're bad players. And while I can definitely see all the fighting power this roster has, mentals and vibes are an extremely important factor for team chemistry, and this team already seems to have problems. They have already gone through drama by dropping their third to pick up Naughty after PSQs. Not to mention, we've seen Chaotic go through two separate teams in Pro League, and both of them fell apart with seemingly bad blood after the fallout. With all this being said, there is also the other large region of PSQ edge teams tend to struggle when going against superior competition in Pro League. I'm looking forward to this squad hopefully proving me wrong and doing great things. I just don't see that happening. Moving on to number 29, we have the former S2 roster of Void, Carter, and Kosi. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Now under the name Eternal EC. It's another PSQ team near the bottom, and the main reason for this is the level of competition step up and unproven players. I just find it hard to see this team fragging out and competing with the best of the best. At the number 28 spot, we have Oblivion and their roster Blinkser, Akimbo, and Arcology. The third straight PSQ team, and we're starting to see a pattern. It is extremely difficult for these teams to step straight into Pro League running. It often takes a few weeks for these newer teams to figure out their playstyle and chemistry, and that leaves little to no room for error in the following weeks. Coming in at number 27, we have Call Spades, Cloaked, and Adjuvant, and their team Temper. As I said before, a lot of these bottom squats are PSQ teams that are just unproven, and therefore I find it difficult ranking them above other proven squads. Temper puts themselves above some of these other preseason qualifier teams thanks to their comms already being noticeably better than many of the other new teams. The number 26 team is Secret Formula and their roster of Scissors, Yuban, and Osenpai. This is a team that performed well in the LCQs before Champs, placing 5th in a stacked lobby. Other than that, however, I just have not seen many great performances out of them. Number 25 is Native Gaming with Klain, Mamba, and Rambo. This team should be ranked way higher, I agree, as they have insane fighting power, and we've seen Rambo do way too many insane things on land to count them out. But there are only so many times I can watch Klain die on Wraith still, Mamba die trying to get the banner, and then Rambo pop Houndolt and run away before starting to think there's something about the squad that's broken. It could be a simple fix with a comp change, but I have to put them where I believe they are entering the season. Look for this team to quickly climb the rankings if they can figure out their issues. At 24, we have the Evolution squad of Ivudo, Euris, and Yazto, the best slaying team of PSQs and one of the best 3v3 teams instantly in Pro League. It is tough to see how well they can perform at Edge and if they know how to take smart fights against the top competition, but give them a straight 3v3 with no outside factors and this team can go toe-to-toe with anyone. Ape Gang is our number 23 team and are rightfully named. This team of Wi-Fi-O, Bursty, and Dan Mantic is built for fighting teams. I just don't know if they can play zone to the ability they should be aiming for with their experience. I give them a slight edge over EVY because of this experience, but it is extremely tight. Do not be surprised if one good team fight flips these teams in my rankings. Coming in at 22 is Drop In Gaming with Stunny, Crook, and Karma. Finally, a reversal of teams as Dig has some of the best zone calls of any squad playing. Their ability to find god spots in round 2 with no beacon is honestly insane. Their weakness, however, is their team fighting, but if they can consistently call god spots, they will hold enough of them and quickly climb my rankings. Despite the relatively low ranking, I expect big things out of this squad this season and could be another team that shoots up these power rankings quickly. This is just a testament to how many great teams there are this season and not a detractor of how good they are as a squad. DNO comes in at 21 in my power rankings. This Dude's Night Out squad of Duplex, Senox, and Crust is one of the hardest squads to rank week 1. They obviously have loads of experience between them, have been to multiple lands, and have been a part of the scene forever. But I don't know if they are great in any one area. They are kind of the jack of all trades of teams this season. I really could see them finishing anywhere outside of the top 5 or bottom 5, so this just felt like the right spot to put them. Our number 20 squad is Oversleepers, with JP Devour, Vaudry, and Charmander. This team would be ranked higher if they had some more experience, and I know they got in by a technicality, but that takes nothing away from their talent. Their improvement through PSQs was evident, and they're only going to get better. If they can adapt quickly to the pro scene, which I think they can, they will quickly become a sleeper team to make LAN. Third group chat comes in at 19. This squad, consisting of Zeratricky, Panders, and Snipedown, has a lot of talent, but their recent contests, along with the doubts surrounding if they still have what it takes, make me not too confident in them for the future. With all 3 players being dropped from ALGS, however, entering this season, they could have the fire that it takes to perform well, but that will have to wait to be seen. Speaking of Snipedown being dropped, our number 18 team is Phonyhead, Frexus, and Zainu, with their team LOL. This team would be ranked higher if every time I tuned into them during scrims, they were not fighting amongst themselves. This, along with the obvious Snipedown beef, makes me uncertain if I can count on the squad to focus on the competition and not their personal problems. Hopefully these problems are past them and they can move forward together. I just don't know if that's the case. The second highest of our PSQ teams is 9 Lives. This team of Dynasty, Awope, and Lazure is more realistically probably the best fighting team outside of E8 from PSQs, and will have every opportunity to show it this season. After watching them run through PSQs, I was impressed, but I was more impressed by their choice in fights. Yes, there were some bad fights taken, but compared to other strong fighting teams in the preseason qualifiers, this squad knew how to spot Godspot and fight for it. The main detractor holding them back is their lack of experience. Our number 16 team is a team that I didn't believe in until I started watching their contests against LG. It is evident that the passion from Alberlelli is at an all-time high. Awakening is also definitely next up. It is in between him and Koifel for breakout star this season. And Scurry might just be the perfect third to drop onto almost any squad, and I don't know how more teams don't see that. But that just works out perfectly for Skirt. At 15 is the complexity team of Monsoon, Reptar, and we don't even know yet. As of now, they are playing with their coach Kim Chi-Lee, and I still believe in the duo in Reptar and Monsoon, so much that I'm putting a duo this high. I would look for them to pick up a free agent player like Lou to take the next step together. The new Fury squad, with his Watson, I'm Madness, and Keon, comes in at 14. This team definitely has fighting power and has been doing great with their zone calls recently in scrims. If this team can figure everything out and convince his Watson and Keon to play for first instead of being the kill leader, then they can definitely go far. At 13 are the Sentinels RKN, Zenile, and Orioles. This is the last team not making LAN based on my week 1 predictions. I'm looking forward to this team being the best pure zone team of the split. If they can get their fighting abilities to catch up with their zone playing, then I could definitely see this team doing great things. Don't chow the BR Demons. A quote heard around the league a couple seasons ago. Apparently, Flat wasn't listening, however, as they pushed OXG off of Pylon in scrims and are arguably the best contesting team already in NA. Nano, Big Louie, and Kazire are already a team fighting force to be reckoned with. They are my dark horse to make LAN this season, hence their 12th place finish in these rankings. LG's newly signed Sweet Dreams, Slayer, and Funk are the 11th team on our list. Formerly SNF before their announced signing. On paper, this is a crazy good team, but they are not there yet. For whatever reason, the performances in scrims are not up to their standards. But Sweet has never been a big scrimmer anyway. I think there is no way that a Sweet Dreams team does not make LAN, but I picture a slow start to the split. Look for them to have a great end to the season and go into LAN red hot. Moist is the team that comes in at number 10. The new look Moist has a lot more firepower after picking up Gildersons to join Waltzy and MT. We've seen Moist play zone to an extremely high degree in the past, and this pickup can hopefully get their team fighting abilities to catch up. Their move to NA is going to bring with it a lot more competition than they are used to in their region, but we've seen them perform well on land before, so hopefully they won't come to regret this move. Our number 9 team is not a team that I would have expected to place this highly, especially because Tech has to find new teammates every 2 months, it seems. Tech, Luxverdi, and Awans make up the new look Meat Lover squad. This is a team that is performing well in scrims despite contesting TSM on both World's Edge and Stormpoint. If they can retain their members and learn how to play for the win and not prioritize trolling TSM, they could be a dark horse to finish top 5 this split. Somehow, a PSQ team that had no right being there. It fits that our number 8 team is E8 with Zach Mazer, Shubi, and Zapdo. They dominated week 1 of PSQs while being contested by tripods and proved that they should not have been even forced to play in the first place. They might be the best fighting squad in Pro League and have shown great ability in making it to endgame zones. Very excited to watch this team this season. One of the only 2 IGLs to have won a LAN is Zero. Him, along with 2 of the best fraggers in the world, and Jen Burton and Sykes, combined to make a Dark Zero roster that definitely will compete this year. Sykes this year looks like the best controller in the world. They would be ranked higher, but this is one of the teams that, with bad mentals, can spiral quickly, as was evident in last year's champs. A great performance in the Split 2 playoffs in Year 3 put this team on the map. One of the best fighting teams, with all 3 players being capable of 1v3ing at any moment. This Oxygen team of Reeds, Vayne, and Aiden the Destroyer are insane at fighting and are equally good at finding openings and late game rotations to find playable areas. And remember, don't chow the BR Demons. This former LG squad, PH, is a great team that I think are better than the new LG. I understand it's a business decision, but this team needs to be signed by someone. They are not only placed as highly because of my respect for the Breaking Bad reference, this Los Pollos Hermanos squad of Yanya, Niazul, and Jaguares can play zone, fight 3v3s, third party, and win contests all at an extremely high level. Look for this squad to prove to the Apex world why they deserve to be a signed team. Speaking of teams that I don't know how they aren't signed, the Dojo came out of nowhere last year in LCQs and champs, but with how good they are on paper, I for one saw it coming. It's Timmy, Designful, and Enemy all have crazy fragging potential and work great as a team. They should have won champs in their rookie season, and I only see them improving and going forward better this season, especially with how great their looting and rotation paths are on both World's Edge and Stormpoint. And good thing for them this season, with the digital threat out of the crafting rotation, Enemy won't have to remember it's Digi Day. The undisputed greatest team of all time with the greatest IGL ever. Imperial Hal, Fairholst, and Reps combined to make the team TSM. But if you're watching this video, you already knew that. The most famous team in Apex, and I can already hear the TSM fans asking me how they aren't number 1. They have shown to have shortcomings before, almost missing LAN altogether, and eventually their plot armor will run out. This is the year someone else finally wins LAN, but that doesn't mean TSM still isn't going to be in the top 3. I said Dojo should have won champs, but it could have been over after 4 games. The greatest run in Apex history should have happened if one of any of the 3 endgames had gone their way. You can say that Optic should have closed it out themselves, and I agree. But that does not mean the Skittlecakes, Knocked, and Dropped couldn't just do it again this year, and this time finish the deal. This team is just too good to count out at any point, and they may not have won, but they proved that all to us last year at Champs. If you've been watching scrims, this should not be a surprise to you. Xset, with Coiful, Nocturnal, and Fun FPS this season, look like a tier above the field. It is easier to say what this team does poorly than what they do great, because that is nothing. There are no shortcomings for this team, and I'd be surprised with anything less than a top 4 finish in league play this split. The vibes are great, the rotates are amazing, and the fighting is maybe the best in the league. Good luck to everyone else. They'll need it. That does it for my week 1 power rankings. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed with anything in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I hope you are all well. See you next time. Peace.